what happened in the last video.
You can't even dance!
And here is more, MrDudeManSir.
I felt warmth in my dream. It happens sometimes. Your brain is not completely awake yet, but you still feel still with one L. I don't know why I realized that. You still feel the sun shining in your eyes. When you wake up, you blink for some time to get used to the light. It was a wonderful morning. The birds were singing, the air was fresh and fragrant, and the world was bathed in daylight. I'd stay in bed for some time longer, but something was not quite right. I wasn't even in a bed. I was laying in the middle of the library. All yesterday evening's events flashed through my mind. Scary and not scary stories. Ulyana. He was cuddling up to me tightly and snoring, not quite like a little girl would. But I didn't worry at all. After all, it's still early, surely no later than 7 or 8 o'clock. Who'd want to go to the library that early? I sat back and looked out the window. In a couple of minutes the sun will hit right in Ulyana's eyes, and then I'll laugh. That's where you're gonna wake up, okay? I'm prepared. It's interesting how she did manage to hug me so tightly. Indeed, I couldn't get free at all. Theoretically, I was ready to spend 1 or 2 more hours lying this way, but suddenly I heard footsteps. Sounds like Trouble. Wake up. Do you hear me? Wake it. I started carefully but insistently, shaking Ulyana by her shoulders, trying to loosen her grip, but she didn't. Meanwhile, the footsteps were getting closer. I have to save us at any cost. Standing up seems unworkable. That's what I learned already. So I decided to crawl. My moves strongly resembled reservists' training, which I never attended. A soldier dragging his injured officer while under artillery attacks. The officer is unconscious, the soldier is exhausted, and the layers of barbed wire surround them. I barely managed to crouch behind the bookstand and hide Ulyana when the library door opened. It was Jenna. She was there. She seemed a bit overcommitted to her work, since she is coming at the crack of dawn. Oh wait. Oh my gosh! I get to actually see you when electronic asks her out. That's gonna be so sugoi, but I know that she spits in her face. A visitor. So she indeed does have a reason to come here. Why couldn't she come yesterday, or today, but later? Science waits for nobody. Science. It was electronic. Hold on for a sec, I'll find it. She headed towards us. I barely managed to turn Ulyana around as it showed she was on my back and crawled over on all fours to a bookshelf and collapsed and caught my breath. What was it? Cybernetic mathematics? Or mathematical cybernetics? It seems she didn't notice us. I like something about electronic bombardment of photovoltaics. Coolsies. Are you crazy? Why would we have something military? That's not military at all. For some time they both were silent. Jenna. What? Let's go down to the river tonight. What for? Well, I have a lot of things to do. Come on, get moving. Your robot is waiting for you. Okay. The door is slamming like an epitaph for electronics love struggles. Seems like he is hot and cold-blooded robot after all. I chuckled quietly. Anyway, laughter seems a bit inappropriate. We have to escape the library somehow. Waiting until Jenna goes to breakfast seems to be the easiest solution at the moment. She's a communist labor worker after all, not one of electronics' mythical robots. She has to at least eat sometime. You know, you're like 20, and she's like 4. You could pick her up with one arm instead of crawling around. Meanwhile, Ulyana wasn't going to wake up. At least she's not snoring anymore. The library was silent. I didn't even see Jenna, but was more like less satisfied with the situation. All of a sudden, incomprehensible noises came from her desk. Clicks and cracks and music. A Soviet anthem? What? Just great. I would have been alright if not for Jenna, who started to sing along. United forever in friendship and labor. I could only envy her patriotic feelings. Unfortunately, she had some vocal issues. The Soviet pop scene definitely did not miss out on a star called Jenna. The anthem ended, and an unfamiliar voice started to talk about overachievements of a 5-year plan of crop harvesting. It was the radio. Obviously, duh. I started listening attentively. Maybe they would say something interesting about getting this girl off my chest finally. But after the list of agricultural achievements, the voice started to disappear, and was gone after a few minutes. Signal disturbance, probably. Jenna stood up and headed. The situation hitting rock bottom. I managed to unclench Ulyana's grip with a titanic struggle. I was free to go, but I was so cramped from all this crouching that I did not have the strength to get up. It's time to prepare for the worst and start thinking of excuses. Suddenly, the step stopped. It seemed like Jenna was standing on the other side of the bookshelf. I heard the sound of books rustling. Probably she's looking for something. She took a book and returned it to her desk. The door slammed open. Semyon? Maybe? Have you seen him? Olga Manchado is definitely like out of breath and stuff. Ulyana? No. Jenna answered with a surprise. The door was slammed as loudly as the previous time. Seems like everyone is looking for us, and Jenna will start to look around the library. But fortunately, at that very moment, breakfast. Jenna was being a punctual person, decided not to linger and left. There was only me and Ulyana. There was time to decide what to do with her. What do I gotta be doing? No longer afraid of being caught, I bent down, and I shouted, "Wakey, wakey! Eggs and bakey!" She's scared. She jumped, noticed me. She finally noticed Senpai. "What are you doing?" "Playing as spies." "What?" "Never mind, did you sleep well?" "Yes." She seemed like not completely conscious. "Break fast?" "Yes." We left the Librario. At last! Now I'm certain that I won't have to explain any one that thing and how why Ulyana's self being there night long. Sorry for falling asleep like that. I'm so embarrassed. It's alright. It's fine. I guess my words sounded too insincere because she looked at me with disbelief. Wait a minutia. What were you doing in there all this time? You wouldn't believe me. They spelled believe wrong. It was Bolivy. Wait a moment! That means... Ulyana giggled, stepped away from me, and shouted, "I'm the first for breakfast!" Not a big surprise after such a deep sleep. I said, but Ulyana already couldn't hear me, being far ahead. It was unusually crowded near the canteen. Of course, there was no other place in the camp that pioneers loved as much as the canteen, but why were they all crowding on the porch? I came closer and tried to find out. It looked like the camp had gathered at the porch. They were all familiar girls, you know, like Olga and Electronic. But Electronic is not a girl. He is now. They were having a lively discussion. I drew closer. Hi, Semyon. Where on earth have you been? I waited for you all night and searched all morning. Ulyana told me that you left the library together yesterday. I looked at Ulyana. She was grinning acrimoniously. Well, we'll deal with it later. Have you seen Shurik? No, he's missing. We haven't been able to find him since early this morning. Disappearing pioneers, well that's something new. But he was already with you yesterday. He was talking to the Electronic. Yes, he was. So you woke up this morning and he wasn't anywhere to be found? Nope. Why didn't you come immediately? Well, I thought he got up early and went to wash or something, maybe. Did he mention anything? No. For example? That he was going somewhere, for example? No. What exactly is so horrifying about that? It's only 9 a.m. You may have decided to go for a walk. You don't know Shurik. He's a man. She looked over at me curiously. Seriously, actually. Same thing. Well, no, I don't. But I didn't see anything suspicious in the situation. Okay, let's stop panicking. We can find him. How could he miss breakfast? Ulyana butted in. Ulyana grinned as well. Exactly. Time to eat anyway. The pioneers proceeded into the canteen except for Olga Dmitrievna, who's probably going to talk to me. But I stopped by Olga Dmitrievna. And you, Semyon, stay. Yeah. Would you care to explain where you've been, like, all night and stuff? Well, this is the thing I hadn't thought about. True, this couldn't have been unnoticed. I could have thought of some clear explanation at least, though. But I hadn't. Well, me and Ulyana were placing the books on the shelves, but then she looked me there and ran away. I was stuck in there until morning. I was at the library today. And I didn't even see you. I'm kind of aware of that, you know. Well, I left quietly. And why is Ulyana telling me something completely different? What might that be? You know, what are stories are like? You know it. Yeah, I read that completely wrong. Yes, you might be right. The camp leader paused for a memento. Just don't think this means I believe you, though. I didn't think that. Okay, we'll deal with it later. I will not forget. Never forget. It's the most important to find Shirk now. Yeah. Dismissed. Yet again, I had no choice where to fit in. The only free place was a table with Alyssa and Ulyana at it. Which, just coincidentally, is the girl I'm going after. Take a seat. She pointed at the chair next to her. I sat down. Aren't you gonna eat your food? Good idea. I never even thought about that. Really? Oh man, I am Semyon right now. I am him. Today's breakfast didn't look much different from yesterday's, but it looked more appetizing. Or maybe I was just very hungry. And maybe I was just eager to finish it off as soon as possible to avoid Ulyana at all costs, and her pranks as well. Want to go to the beach with us today? When? Right after breakfast. Generally speaking, relaxation wasn't on my agenda. But if I was going to spend my time thinking, why shouldn't I do it while getting like a tan in the sun? Why not? Ah, cool! She smiled nicely. I bet you're planning another prank, aren't you? No! Not at all. Ulyana waved her hands at me. If at me means her face, then she's doing it. Sure she is. Alyssa grinned. She's always like that. No way. No way. I think she's right though. Nobody believes me. Nobody. Ulyana took her tray of dirty dishes and stood up. Enjoy your meal. She said in such a way which left no doubt nothing good awaits me today at the beach. Me and Alyssa were left alone. This is awkward. I'm not going after you yet. You know, I guess I shouldn't go with you after all. Why is that? Well, I've got some things to do. What exactly would that happen to be? She looked me in my eyes. I couldn't even find an appropriate excuse. I don't have a swimsuit. I have shorts though. That try mine? What? I don't think that'll work, just a bit. I do not think that'll work. You think it'll fit me? Give it a try. I have always been looking for the perfect suit to contort to my body. With my hourglass figure, even my moves. I finally found one. It's Alyssa's. I don't think it's worth the effort though. Don't be a wimp. We'll find you swimming trunks. Those words only added to my horrifying fear. Wait for me by the canteen. I'll be back soon. Okay. There's nothing wrong with waiting for her, is there? No. Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own businesses, hurried past me one by one. No one stopped by me because I'm a loner. No one even looked in my general direction. It seemed they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just a teenager their age. Their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking I had started to consider the camp and its inhabitants with not as much caution as the first day. Indeed, Alyssa was back in a couple of minutiae. Ready? I am ready. For what? She gave me the trunks. though you hardly can call them trunks. They are probably bikini pants. They look like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. Oh my gosh, so kawaii. Actually, they were boxers. I'm almost afraid to ask, but where did you find these? Too scared to put them on you? Well, you know, I had not the slightest intention of doing so, especially in the middle of the open. In front of the canteen with people, like, walking past. Unless they think I'm sexy, then of course I'll do it. I appreciate her joke, but I wasn't going to make myself laughing stock. Put them on! Now! She said roughly. Why you try them on instead of me? I think the color of this swimsuit would set off your eyes nicely. Let's make a bet. I had no desire to accept her bets. Nope. Alright, you better go to the beach wearing them and swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than the first. Oh dear. I'm not planning to go anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone that you left these trunks in my cabin. Why would you do that? How should I know? She burst into laughter. I didn't want to argue with Alyssa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in those flamboyant trunks. I'll be there in 10 minutes, okay? Okay. Don't be late. She ran off after saying that. I wouldn't dream of it. I have to go embrace the Japanese cherry blossoms in Russia, though. Next to my triangular house. But I have to drag my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel and hopefully find some trunks. Olga Michneva was waiting for me in the room. Semyon, did you hear anything about Shurik? Same as half an hour ago. No new information. I walked to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yeah. I'm going to the nice beach. It's sandy down there. Do you have swimming trunks? Do you even know? You came here without any luggage, as I recall. Strange, the fact didn't seem to surprise her during our first encounter. Nope. No, I don't. So what will you wear? My nude body. I don't know. Wait a minute. I sensed a disturbance in the force. She walked to the wardrobe and unlocked her drawer. In a moment she had a pair of normal black trunks. Where did she get those? More importantly, why? Someone from the previous session might have forgotten them, and she felt like stashing them away just in case a moment occurred where she would need them. Considering all the strange things in this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimming trunks in Olga Michnev's room. Thanks. The trunks were just my size. I changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. Hey, it's nice here. A lot of pioneers had already gathered there, but I recognized only Alyssa and Ulyana. Hi, but she wants me to come there. I walked over to them and they sat down on the sand. Hey, I see you found something better. She stared at my trunks and smirked. Oh my gosh, that is innuendoous. As you can see. Come on, let's swim. No, no. Maybe later. I was not a fan of swimming. Suit yourself. The girls ran to the water. Why did I even come here? Why am I not looking for answers? Should I care about it now? Sovanok looked normal. Certainly a lot of strange things happened to me during these 3.5 days, but not one of them, taken separately, seemed all supernatural. Especially since I didn't get any closer to finding so much as a clue. On the contrary even, everything that has happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? I won't get any truth from the local residents, though I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? But how far can I walk considering I don't even know where I am? It turns out my only option is to wait. Hey, after some time the girls came back. Not even wet at all. Ulyana held something in her hands, even though her hands are at her sides. Look. I looked up and saw a crayfish. Justin, oh wait, is this no, okay, this is new. Okay, cool. No, it's not. This is not new. This is not new. Music is very intense. I love it. Okay. Go with Ulyana. "Count me in," she says. I look at Ulyana astonished. Her thirst for adventure seemed to have no limits. Look, Night Ghost and old camp is great. On the one hand, such company always promises like trouble and stuff, but on the other hand, it feels safer going together. Perfect. Having said our goodbyes to the other girls in Ogre Avenue, we left alone. Do you consider this just an entertaining walk? Well, yeah, what's the matter? Ulyana giggled. Never mind, really. I sighed. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna fetch a flashlight. Okay, you do that. I was just about to suggest that myself. I seemed it would not visit bandit camp at night, but that fidgety child. Well, since it's Ulyana, though, I should be twice as cautious. Electronic had told us the building was built after the war. It looked like a kindergarten, or like a barracks I expected, and definitely could hold less pioneers than today's camp. It had been abandoned for about 20 years. 20 of them. Oh hey, Ulyana skipped forward as if everything was just a game to her. I was ill at ease. Actually, that was normal for a person in my situation. In the night forest, and with scary animals and birds eager to swoop down on you in a full moon with this whole other world I had come into not long ago. I might be better off alone, without needing to look after Ulyana who was running in front of me. How? Hasn't she tripped over anything? Yet. Listen, be careful. Or what? Look at that face. She seems determined or, like, angry at me or something. That's the face of, like, weirdness. I can't even put any emotion to that. She turned around so quickly that I shivered. Nothing. You may hurt yourself. Are you worried about me? Ooh, of course I am. I mean, that's normal. Normal to be worried. Ulyana pouted. Listen. I decided to continue our conversation. It's more relaxing and less scary this way. But what is it about that old camp? You were saying back there at the square. Yeah, it's really a scary place. They said all pioneers died there and became ghosts which guard their last earthly refuge. What did they die from? It was kind of hard to believe her scary tales. How should I know? I wasn't even born back then. She's probably like 5. So that makes sense. But you say it so confidently. I got information from a reliable source. And where would that be from? From Alyssa? Not gonna tell you! So what happened next? They died and became ghosts? That's all. What do you mean, that's all? And now the souls of the dead pioneers roam around this camp and take everyone who dares to enter the world of the dead. Ooh. Wow. Okay, move along. Dots. Time passed. We went deeper and deeper into the depths of the woods where the trees enclosed everything. Suddenly I realized that the forest had gone completely silent. As if the night birds had hidden in waiting or something of the insects had dug into the ground. Even the wind is gone. And died away. I imagined the streams of moonlight breaking through the thick foliage where we were ringing and plucking strings. At last, the trees parted and we walked out into a large glade.